Hi, let's now look at assessment criteria 3.4 for brand proposition. Okay, so in this area, we're going to look at branding strategies, how you can recommend a branding strategy. So there are a few options that we're going to look at under branding strategies. Some of them you know already. Some of them we will learn. All right. So branding strategies, differentiation, cost leadership, niche strategy, brand extensions, co-branding, cause-related branding, customer experience branding, and rebranding. Of course, these are some of the strategic options given in your syllabus, but there can be more. If you read my chapter in my book on brand management, you will see more strategic options. Okay. So differentiation and cost leadership, right? These first three areas: cost leadership, differentiation, and niche, right, are reflected in Porter's generic strategies, right? So if you look at differentiation, we aim to have points of differentiation, PODs. How to differentiate? What are the points of differentiation for a brand? It must be explicit. It must be testable. You must say Sponge is different from that of Perra and Sons. Kiehl's is different from that of Cargill's. Here's how it is different. Points of differentiation. And differentiation is a strong branding strategy. So Porter says in the generic strategies that you can target a broad market or a narrow market. So if you're targeting a broad market, you can be highly differentiated, like luxury brands, Rolex, Cartier, Gucci, Prada. Even in a category, you'll have Kiehl's, supermarket, right? Say airline, it can be Emirates. If it's a hotel, it can be the 5-star, 7-star hotels, right? Highly differentiated. Then cost leadership is when you compete on the lowest cost. Example, Walmart, Cargill's, budget airlines, budget hotels, Perra and Sons. You compete on being the lowest cost producer, and cost leadership is a strategy. Usually you will have a large customer base like Cargill's, like Walmart. And that will give you what we call economies of scale. Economies of scale. What is economies of scale? Economies of scale means when you have a large number of customers, you will sell a large number of units with a small profit margin. So you'll have a scale advantage. Because of your size and your scale, you will keep a small profit margin, but you'll end up making a lot of profits because you have a lot of customers, right? So Perra and Sons will sell a pastry for 100 rupees. Sponge can't do that for 100 rupees, right? That's because Perra and Sons have economies of scale. So cost leadership is a strategy that Michael Porter talks about, as well as differentiation. But when you target a narrow market means a niche market. So what are some of the brands that target narrow markets? Now, if you look at luxury brands, right? Car brands, luxury car brands. the Bugatti, Lamborghini, right? If you look at the high-end cars, Maserati, Ferrari, Mercedes E-Class, all those target a narrow market. Their customers are only few. They don't target the broad mass market. Cargill's Walmart will target the broad market. Narrow market is a niche market, luxury brands, Louis Vuitton, right? Hermes, Prada, Gucci, Armani, narrow market. So they focus on a narrow market, Rolex. That's called a niche market, small market, niche market, narrow market. Another word for it is a niche market, N-I-C-H-E, niche. Pronounce it properly. Niche market, not niche market. Niche market. It's a niche market, right? So niche market means you are going behind a very small market, but you can be very highly priced. So let's say if you are selling organic food, organics. Let's say you have organic, you know what organic food are, right? So organic fruits, organic vegetables. Organic vegetables, if you go somewhere to buy organic vegetables, that means no chemicals. So only organic fertilizer, no chemicals, no pesticides, 100% good for your health, organic. So if you go to buy organic rice, organic fruits, you pay a very premium price, right? Normal pepper will be 100 rupees, organic pepper will be 600 rupees, 5 to 6 times more. Why? Because it's organic, certified organic. So that means that's a niche market. Not everyone will buy it. Only a certain segment will buy it, a niche market. So niche market strategy. Then you have brand extension. Now, Kotler talks about branding strategies, 4 branding strategies, right? In that, Kotler says there's what we call line extension, brand extension. This is what we're discussing. Then multi-brands and new brands, 4 strategic options, right? So if you are in the existing product category with the existing brand name, that's called line extension. Existing product category, existing brand name, and you want to increase sales. So this occurs when a company introduces additional items in the same product category under the same brand name with new flavors, new colors, new variants, new pack sizes. Line extend, you extend the production line. So you say, Rin, we have 250 kilogram, 400, 1 kg, 2 kg, 5 kg, 10 kg, 100 grams. So you come up with more grammages and extend the production line. Anchor will say we have full cream, non-fat, right? Flavored milk, no sugar, zero sugar, low fat. That's called extending the product line. Line extensions. When a company introduces additional items in the same product category. That's what we saw here. Line extension. So what is line extension? You say you stay with the same product category, existing product category, existing brand name, and you extend the line with variants, colors, shapes, forms, pack sizes. Okay. Then the next one is brand extensions. Now, this is what is important, brand extensions. Brand extension means you extend the brand. So one good example here is Virgin. Virgin. Virgin has extended the brand extension. They have Virgin Cola, Virgin Financial Services, Virgin Galactic, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Voyages, Virgin Cola, Virgin credit cards. This is called brand extension. Virgin Rail, Virgin Blue, which is a budget airline. So they have 200 such companies that they have extended the brand to. Highly diversified brand extension, using the existing brand name to launch in a new product category. Right? Honda is another example. Singer, Keels, another example. But Virgin to me is one of the best examples. Then you have multi-brands. Multi-brands means what? Existing product category, new brand name. That's a multi-brand. Right? So multi-brands means, example, Toyota. Under the Toyota umbrella, you have Toyota Lexus. They don't call it Toyota Lexus. It's just only Lexus. Then you have the Camry brand, Corolla brand, Starlet brand, Land Cruiser brand, and it continues, right? So many brands. This is called multiple brands, additional brands in the same product category. If you go to Hamidia, which is a men's clothing brand in Sri Lanka, under that you get Signature brand, Envoy brand, Libon, so many other brands. Another brand called FH, their designer brand. So multi-branded, multi-brand. This is multi-branding. Under the same brand, you find so many brands. Same thing you'll find in Unilever, Nestle, PepsiCo, multi-brands. And then you have new brands. New brands means new product category, new brand. Example, if Cambridge College tomorrow launch a restaurant, we can't call it Cambridge restaurant. We have to go into a new product category with a new brand. That's the fourth strategic option. So I hope you understood what brand extension is. Co-branding, guys, on the other hand, is when two brands get together. Co-brand. Can be two brands, can be more than two brands. So when two brands, here MasterCard and Virgin have got together to co-brand and create a credit card. Disney and McDonald's got together and co-branded. There are so many brands that co-brand. Two brands get together. Okay? I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Co-brand. Then next strategic option is cause-related branding, customer experience branding, and rebranding. So all these are very simple examples I'm giving you. Body Shop, the Body Shop is a good cause-related branding example. If you look at their values, if you look at the Body Shop values, right at the bottom, against animal testing, they support community fair trade, activate self-esteem, defend human rights, protect the planet. Those are their 5 core values. Of course, Body Shop is a brand that Anita Roddick founded. Anita Roddick is no more. She passed away, but the brand lives on. The brand was sold to another company, but the brand lives on with the same founding principle. We are different because of our values. Our values have always been at the heart of our business. In fact, they are at the heart of everything we do. This is a good cause-related brand. Right? Community fair trade is something that they focus on. So you embrace a cause. You support a cause. There are so many examples. We have a subject in level 4 called responsible marketing. In responsible marketing, we talk about the importance of cause-related brands and products. So this is a good example. And customer experience branding is when you are known and renowned for your customer experience. A brand that comes into my mind is the Ritz-Carlton. We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. That's what they say. We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. And everything that they do have a class to it. They know their customers by name. Actually, I have had the privilege of staying in a Ritz-Carlton. And, when you walk in through the doors of a Ritz-Carlton, let's say you stay in there and then you go out and sightseeing and all that and come back, they address you with your name. Good afternoon, Mr. Diasz. Right? So they know who their guests are. They know who their guests are. Even 2 days later, a new person has come in. I don't know how they do it. Even the new person knows who you are. Not the same doorman, new doorman has come, but that doorman will know who you are. Right? That is the customer experience at Ritz-Carlton. And there are lots of other things that they do. So customer experience branding is when you are famous, when you are renowned for your customer experience. Right? This is their customer service credo. We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. 3 steps of service. This is a card that all of them keep at the top of their jacket that they're wearing to remind them daily that they are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. In order to serve your clientele, you have to be top notch. You have to be a gentleman to serve gentlemen. So a warm and sincere greeting. Use the guest name if and when possible. Anticipation and compliance with guest needs. And give them a fond farewell. Give them a warm goodbye. And use their name if and when possible. This is called the Ritz-Carlton Credo. This is a printed thing that they keep in their pocket here to remind them every day that this is the kind of service brand they are. And finally, when we talk about the rebranding strategy, we spoke of McDonald's, how they're moving from the red McDonald's to green McDonald's all over the world. They're rebranding. Look at their brand name, how it has changed over a period of time. And now it has completely changed. Of course, now they're not even in Sri Lanka. They're going into green McDonald's. Because the world today is demanding healthy food. So they are moving from this kind of store to this kind of store. They're moving from this kind of food to this kind of food. Right? You can see here salads and all that. Right? So rebranding is an important exercise. You have to carefully do it because you're changing your logo, your signage. And in this case, you're changing your menu, your products also change. Actually, these are also 2 brands that have rebrand. I don't know, do you know this? Right? Pitbull is obviously not his first name. Pitbull's first name is Armando Christian Perez. No one knows him as that. Everyone knows him as Pitbull. And so is Amaradev, our Sri Lankan legend. W.D. Amaradeva, he also changed his name. That is called rebrand. You know why? Because he went to India to learn raga music. And his teacher there, when he was about to depart, told him that he cannot go back to his country with an English name. His name was Albert Pereira. That is English and Portuguese. Albert and Pereira is Portuguese. So after you learn raga music, you can't go back to your country, right? And modify Sinhala music having a British and a Portuguese name. So what did he do? He changed, he asked his guru to give him a name, and that's the name he got. The guru said, you'll be known as Amaradeva from today onwards. So he came back, and WMD Albert Pereira became WD Amaradeva. And now when he talks about and he sings his Sinhalese songs, when he was Albert Pereira, it would have sounded very different. But now it sounds even better because he has a deep Sinhalese name, Amaradeva. Right? So you can see branding can happen anywhere. Destination branding, celebrity branding, product branding, service branding, country branding, right? So in summary, these are the branding strategies: differentiation, cost leadership, niche, brand extension, co-branding, cause-related branding, customer experience branding, and review. Please study this. All right. Thank you very much.